Welcome back to Burn the Ship, the podcast where we connect entrepreneurs to professionals to help you go all in on your business. I'm your host, Ezra Brown. Without further ado, I'm going to allow my guest to introduce himself.
Hi, my name's Carmen Yacono. I'm the owner of Yacono Sports Collectibles in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Awesome. So, Connor, kind of tell me a little bit about your backstory, who you are, kind of how you got into cards and into collectibles.
Yeah. So I've always collected cards since I was a kid, and it's something I just enjoy doing. So I wanted to do something with my kids to kind of build a legacy, something for us to do together, and something I can share with them and that they can take over as well. So it's interesting to go from being just a collector to running a business.
Right. Absolutely. So with card collecting, I hold that near and dear to my heart just because I played sports, so I've always loved cards, but I never really collected them myself a ton. I had a little phase where I went pretty crazy for about 2 years, and I did it, but never anything like where I've really sought after stuff. But I do like to look at collections and things like that, and I have collector friends. Our editor is actually he does Pokemon cards and sports cards, but that's an interesting way, to want to start a business, especially because it started from passion. So kind of speak on like a little bit of starting to want to do the business side of it.
So I have an operations background. In my day job. I run operations for a branch of a commercial flooring store. So building up processes, and that was easy for me. So just having that chance of like, okay, I want to do something that's mine.
Right.
What makes sense? What do I know?
Right.
Yeah, I could have done the flooring thing as well, but I said, I want to do something that's fun and that I enjoy doing. And sports cards is easy because it's easy to relate. Everyone can relate and be that little kid opening up that pack of cards,
right,
and looking and collecting their favorite stars.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
it was just an easy thing to gravitate towards for me.
Absolutely. And then with sports cards, obviously there's tons of sports. It could be a soccer card, be a baseball card, could be a football card, could be a basketball card, whatever it is, WNBA card. Those aren't worth as much. But what would you say are like your favorite cards to collect? What is your collection mostly made of?
I always liked baseball cards. I still like football and basketball cards. I watch football, love football, but I always loved baseball cards because that meant winter was over and it was going to get into the spring and summer. So it was always something to look forward to.
Yeah, that's awesome for sure. What's your best card in the collection?
My personal collection or for the business?
For your personal.
Personal, I have a 1956 Roberto Clemente.
Wow. Yeah. What's the PSA on it?
It's only a 3.
That's all.
But
Doesn't matter.
My favorite one that I have.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's awesome. That is awesome. And in the business, what you guys are collecting every card, obviously, in the sports realm is kind of what you guys are going for. But how do you guys pitch the model? Do you guys will sell them in bulk, like you buy 10 cards for a price, or is it more of that standard one card tailored price? Or how's it look for you guys?
So what we don't want to be is we don't want to be just another eBay flipper. We wanted to actually build a brand, and a brand that people can actually believe in and trust in. And that's tough in this industry, is to become a brand.
Right.
Everybody wants to go on eBay and just sell cards for $1, $2, $3. So we do some of that as well. But we want to be a disruptor and question the hobby and why things are the way they are as well.
Right.
So with the cards, we do have some higher end cards. We have some mid-range cards, and then we do have like 99-cent cards as well.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's sick. And then where do you guys kind of source your cards from?
All around. I look for a good deal, try to keep my cost per card down so that the return on that investment is nice.
Right, absolutely. So you hit the yard sale, the Goodwill.
I haven't gotten into that yet. At first, I started with going to card shops, ordering online, ordering boxes and breaking them to get lower cost. I found a couple retail packs where my cost per card was 22 cents a card.
Right.
So
that's awesome.
that's nice. Even when you sell at 99 cents, there's a nice little return.
Absolutely, because you don't know if that's a set of cards that somebody's ever went through. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if they haven't, there's always that chance.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So obviously, leaving the legacy and for the kids and for yourself, that's an interesting take on that. You want to speak on it a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I have 4 kids and a stepson,
Mm-hmm.
so I have plenty of boys, and every one of them loves sports. So I have everything. We're building it all together.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my sons works with me day to day. He does a lot of our shipping for us. So that's one thing we really excel in is our shipping.
Mm-hmm.
We can turn things around and have it shipped out within 24 hours.
Right.
My oldest son actually created the logo that I shared with you,
Mm-hmm.
and did that himself. And then the other kids, I asked them their opinions. What do they think of this card? Do they think people would buy certain products? We do have some packs we make ourselves.
Yep.
Sell towards kids and set collectors as well. So I was getting some feedback from them too to get a little bit of a younger perspective on that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's awesome. That's cool, man. That's super cool. How old are the kids?
My big age range.
Yeah.
My older 3 boys are 25, 23, and 22.
Mm-hmm.
The stepson is 13, and my youngest is 4.
Oh yeah. You get busy. That's awesome. That is awesome. So with all that and having the kids and knowing that it's something that y'all could grow and tangibly grow, what have been some of the struggles that you guys have seen trying to grow the business?
What I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be an eBay flipper and try to make money.
Right.
It's kind of distinguishing yourself and being a disruptor.
Yeah.
So that's where I've put a lot more focus on social media.
Uh-huh.
So I do a TikTok. I do that a lot, where I just challenge things.
Right.
Like everyone goes to PSA,
Mm-hmm.
and it's only PSA or it's not worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
I ask why.
Right.
Because when I was a kid and when you guys were younger as well, the card used to make the label. Now it's the label makes the card.
Mm-hmm.
So just having the backbone to question those things to get eyeballs and get people talking.
Right. Absolutely. Thought about making your own brand of baseball cards?
That would be cool, but we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we can grow to get to a point like that.
That'd be something cool. I mean, sometimes you got to wing it. I might have just
We'll
thought
get
of
the Ezra Brown rookie in there.
I might have thought about my next business venture. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, huh? Yeah. Too bad I didn't get one of those. I didn't get a good one of those cards. But with that being said, all cards, like you said though, but the PSAs and how cards are made, and then it being a bow and a tops, a chrome, whatever those cards are, a game day patch, things like that make the value. But then also the card, whatever, if the ends have been bent or if it's ever, sat in the sun for 30 seconds, that somehow they're seeing that. But how do you kind of establish that? Obviously, because you don't have PSA cards when you buy them, because most of the cards aren't PSA sold out unless they're a couple $100 card.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to look at the card.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to kind of understand, okay, this card, yes, I just pulled it out of a pack. It looks perfect. But when you look under it under like a magnifying glass with light, centering tools, there's different ways to actually see if a card is grade worthy or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can come damaged from the manufacturer with rule marks, things like that will decrease that grade as well.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Because, I mean, I've never really been into the collecting as much, but I've definitely had my fair share, and I never really understood, even if it pulls out of a pack. Like, you could pull it out of a fresh pack.
Yeah.
And it could 100%. Be, and it's not a PSA 10.
No, you can get an 8,
mm-hmm.
and you're like, what am I missing?
Yeah, what am I missing here? And mm-hmm. So where I played travel at here in Atlanta, we were fortunate enough we had kids that would come in from around the country and come play with us. But we had a guy from Utah, and his family, they own a very, very big real estate, commercial real estate company in Utah. And that's what he does. Like, his fun thing is baseball cards. It's not cars, mm-hmm. It's not shoes, because he could have all of them, but his thing's baseball cards. And he's got every baseball card I think you could ever imagine. And I was just, I never really noticed it until, me and him follow each other on Instagram. And I'll see it like his dad's collection, and I'm like, dude, that is just insane, man. Like that's a dream. That's a dream thing. But people pay millions for those things,
Oh, some of them are.
which is crazy. You know, like what's the best collection you've seen?
I've seen a bunch, especially on some shows
Yeah,
and some of the bigger auction houses.
yeah.
You know, you see shows where people are pulling out like Honus Wagner T206s, and you're like, that's like, oh my,
Hmm.
how does anyone get lucky enough to find that behind a cupboard in their
Right,
grandma's house?
right, right. Or like you get that the little kid that got the Paul Skeens rookie card that
Yeah,
everybody was looking for. You
that's
know.
kind of controversial.
Yeah.
It is. There's a lot of people who think that was a setup.
Really?
Yeah, that's a big controversy right now.
For the MLB to make money on the cards, and
For
they knew where it was at.
Yeah, they're saying that someone found it, and then it was already shipped to the grading company before they released that somebody had it. So there's a big controversy in the hobby right now about that.
Ah, I have to look. I'm gonna have to look at that. I'm gonna have to hop on TikTok and
Yeah.
watch some of them and hear about it. But no, man. So really, essentially, we do the business podcast, and I want to know, what are y'all's plans on for your scaling, growing, going forward? Obviously, this is social media a little bit, but what's that look like for you guys going forward?
So we want to continue to scale social media
Mm-hmm.
because the more eyeballs you get on your brand, the better you are.
Mm-hmm.
We've also grown with eBay. We're growing into Whatnot, and we are selling on Shopify. We have a website through Shopify.
That's
So
awesome.
we are going that route and putting a lot of effort on the back end of Shopify right now to build out that website.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome because anything we can do to help you guys, that we definitely will because I know we would love to if we can send them from the house instead of having to go to a card shop an hour and a half down the road. Most definitely would rather send some business people we know.
No, appreciate that.
That's awesome. And then the last thing I got for you is what's been, or not what's been, but before I ask my last question is, what do you want to do with this? Like besides your legacy, what are your plans over the next 10 years for it?
So I really want it to be a disruptor.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, I think of like Barstool meets baseball cards.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as obscene as some of Barstool stuff is,
Right.
but we want to be known as that brand that's not afraid to question status quo.
Right.
So we're working on building out some merch
Mm-hmm.
that is, tongue-in-cheek hobby jokes,
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
like this is kind of the same way Barstool did things.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
one of our mottos is grind, grade, and grow.
Okay.
So we have shirts, hoodies, all that made for that as well.
That's awesome. Y'all got them up on the Shopify and on the website.
Yes.
Cool. We'll put that.
Yeah, I'll get your guys' address
we'll put
after
the
we're
link
done.
down.
You guys will get a couple hoodies.
That's awesome. We'll put the link down below so that way people come by and grab some of it.
Yeah,
That's sweet, dude. So you guys are kind of already trending that direction, trying to figure out how you make it your day job, huh?
That's the end goal.
Yeah,
I want to make sure I can do something and work with my kids through retirement
right.
and then pass it on to them.
Absolutely, you can be the old guy at the card shop.
That's it.
40 years, 50 years from now, be the old guy sitting there
still,
at the card
still
shop.
with the hat backwards.
Yeah, hanging out. That's awesome. I can appreciate that, man. Family man. And then the last thing that we ask, every guest is, what's it like to burn the ship, to start a business, that you don't know if it's going to fail. You're putting money into it, and you could definitely be putting money into something else, but you're putting money into, into your own collection, but you're putting money into something, and giving your time up for it, while you're doing something else, but you're giving your time to it. So what was it like for you to burn the ship?
So for me, it was easy to bet on myself
Mm-hmm.
because I'm internally driven that failure is not an option.
Right.
So to me, that was the safest bet of my life, bet on myself, because if it don't work out, okay, I tried.
Right. Absolutely. No, that's awesome. And tell the people where to find you guys.
So we are at yaconosportscollectibles.com
Mm-hmm.
is our website. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We do a lot on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
So we're around and easily available to communicate.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So if you need anything from us, we'll definitely be of help to you. And everybody, Kevin's stuff will be linked up. Or Carmen's stuff will be linked down below. Sorry, I had to edit that out of there. But Carmen's stuff is linked down below. If you guys need anything in the card space, please reach out to them, information, anything. And then if not, click on their socials, check them out. Once again, burn the ship.